All right, let me tell you about Donald Trump's political death spiral. It has begun. It has to do with his acting attorney general and his reaction to that. He's pulled a Tony Soprano. I will explain that. His three fatal flaws have caught up with him. I will explain that. And it's all happening right now. So before I get to all that, let me just quickly say we've got just 9 days left in our membership drive, and you can get basically a progressive version of Netflix. We've got over a dozen progressive shows for you guys. tyt.com/join to do it anytime, but right now actually it's free. You got and normally it's $4.99, which is really not much at all. You can do higher levels, but $4.99 you get all of our shows. But right now it's a week free trial at tyt.com/holiday. So if you're ever going to check out all those shows behind the scenes, post game, aggressive, progressive, old school, all of those, and our podcasting network, this is the time to do it. Okay, so he apparently, Trump was furious with Matt Whitaker, the meathead that he hired to be acting attorney general. That was a improper appointment in the first place. He did it in a way that was not constitutional. Surprise, surprise. That's all right. A new attorney general is going to come in theoretically anyway. But in the meanwhile, Trump is apparently furious with Whitaker. Why? Because he says, well, all these prosecutions continue, and Michael Cohen pled guilty while you were acting attorney general. Do you understand? Donald Trump is so stupid that he thought the acting attorney general could just come in and go, okay, all the investigations are immediately over. Even though Michael Cohen already pled guilty, I'm going to prevent his sentencing. I'm going to come in and stop all of the trials. Of course he can't do that. How could he not know that? Donald Trump might be dumber than I thought he was. That is unbelievably dumb. He doesn't have a third grader's understanding of our American form of government. I'm not kidding. So those are his three fatal flaws. If you're a MAGA guy, you're going to say, oh, you just don't like him. Well, it doesn't matter what you think, because the guy's going to be out of office really soon. And I've been right about this from day one. Maybe people will think it was obvious in hindsight, but I told you he's never going to finish his term, never ever going to finish it. And I said that from the day that he came in. Why? Because I knew that these three things better than other people did. Now, people know that he's not a good guy. Yes, that's one of his fatal flaws. But it's a little deeper than that, because he has no empathy for anyone. In terms of policy, that's why people can't stand him. He has no empathy for the families being ripped apart at the border. He has no empathy for anyone that doesn't look like him, etc., okay? Or even, he doesn't even have empathy for his own staffers, for his own employees. He's a sociopath in that way. Now, okay, but why would that lead to his demise? Well, look, a lot of sociopaths have gotten away with a lot of stuff, but it leads to his demise because he kills off everyone near him. He blames them for his problems and then fires all of them. So what has he done now? Now Mattis is gone. John Kelly is gone. So his Secretary of Defense, his Chief of Staff, everyone is gone. Hope Hicks used to be one of his anchors, the communications director. Even she left, and she was a true loyalist all throughout. Everyone is gone because he's Donald Joffrey Trump. No one could stand to work with Joffrey that long, and he doesn't care about any of them. And that's the Tony Soprano problem. When you've killed off too many of your own inner circle, there's no one left to protect you. So tick, 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 tick. I mean, he's even turning on Whitaker, the meathead that had no qualifications that he hired to be a loyalist, because Whitaker won't immediately, brazenly, unbelievably break the law. Of course he's not. Even a meathead like Whitaker is not going to do that. And so, and now he's apparently also furious at Mick Mulvaney, because his new incoming chief of staff, because he found out Mulvaney said during the campaign that he was a terrible human being. Hey, schmuck, you want to do your homework? And of course you didn't do your homework. So you never found out what Mick Mulvaney thinks of you or your stupid wall, which he thought had never had a chance of working and wasn't necessary at all. Oops, you found out all of that after you publicly announced that you were hiring him. You're such an idiot, which is his second fatal flaw. And you might think, oh, Cenk, okay, you're on the left, so you don't like guys on the right. No, guys, Dick Cheney's incredibly smart, whether you like him or you don't. I respect his political acumen, okay? Karl Rove is smart. There's plenty of incredibly smart people on the right wing. Donald Trump just doesn't happen to be among them. He doesn't know anything, has never cared to learn anything. There's never been any consequences for his failure, whether it was his bankruptcies or his terrible grades or every stupid decision he's ever made. But now when you're president of the United States, that is going to catch up with you. He cannot cover up his crimes. He's not smart enough. He can't get his way out of trouble. He's not smart enough. And finally, the third fatal flaw. He's deranged. Guys, look, afterwards, again, a lot of people will claim that it was obvious. No, I told you from day one, the guy does not have any mental capacity at all. I mean, walking around the White House like deranged lunatic, yelling at your incoming chief of staff and the staffers who helped you pick him. You're responsible. The buck stops here is saying about the Oval Office. And he's like, no, it's somebody else, it's somebody else. A petulant little deranged child. And I feel bad every time for kids when I say that. So this is not a guy who would not have committed crimes throughout his career. He was a lifelong criminal. We all already know a lot of that evidence. It's already public. But you think Mueller doesn't know it? You think Mueller is going to come out and say he's innocent? Does anyone in their right mind think that? No, he's going to drop a political bomb on his head any day now. And do you think Donald Trump is smart enough, mentally stable enough, and has been decent enough to his loyalists that they will rally around him and he'll figure out a good strategy to get beyond the incredible amount of legal trouble he's in now? The answer is, of course not. He has no prayer. He's a goner. He's not going to make it. He's not going to finish his term. After he's gone, people will say, well, with that level of instability, they could have been easily foreseen. But remember, guys, they didn't say that today. Even at this late time, they didn't say it for the last 2 years. I told you from the get-go. And I'm not just saying that, and look, I'm saying that still ahead of time. Still, most of the people today think, oh, well, of course, who will Donald Trump face in 2020? He'll face Bubba in prison. That's who he'll face. I don't know that he goes to prison. For people that are that powerful and in the elite, it's too embarrassing to send him to prison, so they'll probably make a deal. But he ain't going to be here in 2020. He's not going to run for president. He's going to be running from the law in 2020. You literally heard it here first, and I emphasize that not to brag because it hasn't even happened yet, but to tell you ahead of time. Look, we at the Young Turks, we know politics. We know politics. So when we tell you something's going to happen, you got to trust that to some degree. We told you those Just Democrats would win, and they did win. And I'm telling you now, they're going to make a huge difference, and progressives are going to win in 2020. So that's why you got to get up and rally and be excited. I think I told you also from day one, 2018 was going to be a wild ride, a crazy year. And I told you when I tell you when I think I know things, and I tell you when I think I don't know things. I don't have enough information. In 2018, I said I don't know what's going to happen in 2018. In 2019, I do know. 2019 is going to be an amazing year for progressives, including Donald Trump leaving office. Tick, 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 tick. tyt.com/join. Become a member. Get this every day. We love it. We love what we do. I think you'll love it too.